So
So
here
here
I
I am
am
today,
today, not to talk
not to
about
talk
what I
about what
have
I have
done,
done,
but it's
but
more
it's more
about
about
how
how
many
many
times I
times
have
I
failed
have
in my
failed
life
in my life
and how much
and how much
struggle
struggle
I had
I
in the
had in the
past.
past.
But
But
before I
before I
start
start
my
my
story,
story,
I would just show
I
you
just
a
want to
book.
show
People
you a
talk a
book.
lot about
People talk a lot
self-help
about
books so
self-help
far.
book so much.
I brought a book
I
today,
got this book today,
and
and
about
about
4 weeks
4 weeks
ago,
ago,
my best
my
friend
best
gave me
friend
this book.
gave me this book.
The title
The
is
title
Your
is
One
Your
Word.
One
Sorry
Word.
to advertise
Sorry
the
for
book.
advertising the book.
Right here
Right
at the
here
back
at
of
the
the
back
book,
of the book,
the writer
the writer
says,
says, and
and
questions and
challenge
challenge
yourself.
yourself.
If
If
you
you
use
use
one
one
single
single
word
word
to
to
describe
describe
your whole
your
life,
whole life,
the meaning
the
of your
meaning
life,
of your life,
the target
the
of your
target
life,
of your life,
what would
what
that
would
word
that
be?
word be?
And he
And he
continues,
continues, I'm
many
sure
of you
many
here
of you
will not
here
have the
will not
answer
have the
yet.
answer yet.
Is it true?
Is it true?
Yes.
Yes.
But things have
But
come.
things have come
When I read
when I
that
read that
question
question
about 4 weeks
about
ago,
4 weeks ago.
2 minutes later,
2 minutes
I said,
later,
"Oh, I found
oh, I
mine."
found mine.
It came
It
so
came so
easy. It
easy.
came so
It came
instantly.
so instantly.
And I started
And I
to
started
prepare for
to
my TED
prepare for
talk
my TED
today, and
Talk
I look at
today, and I look
my whole
my
life
whole
journey,
life
42
journey,
years
42
of
years
living
of
on
living
this
in
earth,
this earth,
working as a teacher
working as a
for
teacher for
nearly 20
nearly
years.
20 years.
And I started
And I
to
started
look
to
at
look at
everything I have
everything
gone
I
through.
have gone through.
And so that's what
And
I'm
so
going
that's why
to
I'm going
share
to
with you. I have
share.
my
I have
keyword
my
here, but
keyword,
I'm not going to
but
show
I'm not
you
going to
until the
show
end.
you until the end.
Keep that as a
Keep
secret.
that as a secret.
And I want you to
And
walk
when
through
you walk
stories
through
in
my
my
story
life,
in my life,
and hopefully you find out
you
why
find out
I
why
came
I
to
came to
realize the
realize
purpose of
the
my life.
purpose of my life.
I want to share with you.
I want to share with you.
So, story time,
So, story
okay?
time, okay?
I was born
I was
into a
born
family of
into a family of
children.
6 children,
5 boys and
5 boys
1 girl,
and 1 girl,
in a very
in a
remote
very
area
remote
in
area
Vĩnh
in Vĩnh Long
province.
province.
In the
In the
1970s,
1970s,
life
life
was just
was
a
a
huge
huge
struggle
struggle
for
for
many
many
people. And
people,
just
and just
raising up
raising up 6
6 children
children in a
was a
family
huge
was a
struggle
huge
for my
struggle for my
parents.
parents.
Plus, my
Plus,
father
my
used to
father
work
used to
for the
work
US
for the
Navy
US
before
Navy before
1975.
1975.
And so
And
life
so
in the
life in the
70s was
70s
a little
was
bit
a little bit
insecure
insecure
at that
at
time.
that time.
And
And
everybody in my village at
everybody in
that
my
time,
village at
people
that time,
stopped going
people
to
stopped
school.
going to
All of the
school.
kids would just
All
stay
of
at
the kids
home and
was
help
just
the
stay
family.
home, have the family.
And so,
And
being born into
being
that
in that
family, the
family,
first thing I
the first
experienced
thing
was
I
actually I
experienced is
had a
actually
very
I had a very
carefree life.
carefree life,
So much
so
fun
much fun
as a child.
as a
In the
child,
field with the
in the
buffalo
fields
with
with the
our friends.
buffalo and friends.
But it's also the
But
first
it's
moment in
also
my
first
life
moment
I
in my
started
life
to
I started
experience
to
the
experience the
feeling
feeling
of
of
shameful,
shameful,
the
the
feeling of
feeling of
being
being
discriminated
discriminated
because you are poor.
because you are poor.
And
And
I started to
I started to
see
see
tears from my
tears from my
mom's
mom's
eyes
eyes
every
every
time
time
she could
she could
experience the
experience
feeling
the
of being
feeling of
looked
being
at,
looked down,
not for
not
her,
for
for her
her, for the
children.
children.
And deep down,
And
I
deep
started to
down, I
realize
started to
what it
realize
means
what
to
it
try
means
and to
to
become
try
successful
to become
right at
successful
that time.
right at that
But my
time.
life
But
at
my
that time was
life at
so
that time
quiet
was so
until the
quiet
age
until the age
of
of
5.
5.
Something terrible
Something
happened to
terrible
me.
happened to me.
My parents
My
sent me to
parents
school.
sent me to school.
I had long
I had long
days
days
just playing
just
with my
playing
friends,
with
and
my
I enjoy
friends,
more
enjoy
in the
more
field
in
rather
the
than in the
field
school.
rather than the school.
But I could not
But I could not
understand
understand
in the middle
in
of
the
the village
middle of the
there, where
village there,
everybody
where
cared
everybody
more
care
about
more
food
about
and
food and
clothes.
clothes.
My
My
father
father
was very
was
committed
very committed
to education.
to education.
And I cannot remember
And I
how
cannot
many
remember
times
how many
he
times
asked
he asked
everybody
everybody
in
in
the
the
family
family
to
to
sit
sit
down
down in the
with the
evening
oil
with
lamp
the
in the
oil
middle
lamp in the middle
in the
in the
1970s,
1970s,
1980. And he
1980s.
kept
He
reminding
kept
us
reminding us
about what will
about
happen
what will
if
happen
we
if
decide to
we
quit school.
decide to quit
The
school.
first thing he
The
would
first
do
thing he would
is
do
to kick
is he
everybody
kicked
out
out
of the
everybody
family. If
out
we
of the
ever talk
family.
about
If we
not
ever
going to
talk about
school.
not going to school,
So he was
so
very
he was
committed,
very
and it's
committed,
still a very
and it's
secret
still
to
a
me
secret
now
to me
where
now
the idea
where
came
the idea
from
came
in his
from
mind.
in
When
his
everybody
mind.
else, even
When
in my
everybody
family,
else,
going
even in
against
my family,
education.
go against education.
So
So
being in that
being in that
situation and in
situation
that
and that
context,
context,
I learned the
I
first
learned the
lesson
first
of
lesson
being
of being
grateful
grateful
to
to
having
having
such a
a caring,
caring,
loving
and a
mom and
committed father
a
in
committed
my life.
father in my life.
But then,
But then,
I know that I could
I
not
know that
escape
I could
education.
escape
I
from
prefer,
education.
sometimes I feel jealous
Sometimes
with
I feel
other
jealous
kids
with other
in my
kids.
village because
I
they have long days
they have long
playing.
days to
I
play.
sacrifice
I
half my
sacrifice
day at
half of my
school,
day at school,
not enjoying,
not
to be
enjoying.
honest.
To be
Sorry,
honest, sorry,
teachers.
teachers.
And then I become a teacher,
No,
right?
I am a teacher now.
But
But
my life
my
went
life
on
went
to
on
secondary
in secondary
school and then
school
high
and high
school
school
very
very
quiet. The only thing
quiet.
I could
The only
do
thing I
is to
could
stay
do is just
focused.
stay
I
focused.
was very
I was
obedient at
very
that time,
obedient at
just
that
listening to
time,
my
listen to my
parents and the
parents and
teachers
the
all the
teacher
time.
all the time.
I tried
I
to study
tried to
hard.
study hard,
Strangely,
strongly.
the best
The
score
best
I
score
got in high
I got
school
in high school
was
was
6.72.
6.72.
I could never
I could
be a
never
good
be a
student
good
in high school.
student in high
Even
school,
I know that I have
even though I
tried.
know I
I
tried
was
a
so
lot.
bad in high school.
I was so bad in high school,
But I did
but I did
start to feel
start to
that I
feel
enjoy
that
more
I
school.
enjoy more school.
And
And
this is also the
it is
stage.
also the stage.
At school,
At school,
I started to
I started
experience
to
what people
experience
call
what people call
failure.
failure.
At the end of year
At the end
12,
of year
I took the
12,
university
I took
entrance
the
exam.
university entrance
I
exams.
failed.
I failed
First year.
first year.
Interestingly, I
didn't feel sad,
not disappointed,
not disappointed,
but I
but
begin to
I
see
begin
in
to
the
see
eyes of
in the eyes of
who
people
love
who
me
love me
and who want the
and who
best
want
for
the
my
best
life.
for my life,
The look of
look
disappointment
disappointed
and more
and more
expectation
expectation
from me.
from me.
So
So
I felt sad for
I
2
felt
days,
sad for 2 days,
packed my
packed
luggage,
my luggage,
going back to
going back
Gangsa
to Gangpa
City,
City,
spending 1
spending
year
1 year
reviewing the
reviewing the
lesson,
lessons,
taking the exam
taking the
again in the
exam
second year,
again in the
and
second
luckily
year,
I
and luckily I passed,
becoming a student
become a
at
student
university.
in university.
But I hit the wall
But I
again
hit the
right
wall
the first
again
day I
right the
stepped
first
into the
day that I
university.
stepped in the university.
I was among
I was among
255
255
students
students
at
of
that time,
university at that time,
not
not
understanding
understand
a
a
word
word
of
of English.
And so, in
And
the
so,
first
in the
month of the
first month in the
university,
university, many
I
times
thought about
I
quitting
thought about quitting
university, going back home. Life is easier
Life
as a
is
farmer,
easier as a
right?
farmer, right?
But then I felt so
But I felt
lucky
so
at that
lucky
time
at that
to
time
have
to
one
have
of my
one
teachers in
admired
the
teacher
university.
in the
He
university.
understood
He
all of
understood
the
on the
psychological
psychological process
process
of the student.
He sat
He
down
sat down
patiently,
patiently,
explaining,
explaining,
encouraging,
encouraging,
and
and
supporting.
supporting.
So we
overcame the
thanks to
problem
that teacher.
thanks to that
That's the
teacher. That
second
was the
person
second
that I
person
felt
in
so
my life
grateful
I felt so
to
grateful
in my life.
in my life.
And
And
all I could do
all
in my
I could
4
do
years
in my
was
4
to
years
stay
is to
focused.
stay focused.
I never
I
considered
never
myself
considered
to
myself
be
to be
an
an
intelligent
intelligent
person,
person,
but I did work
but I
very
did
hard
work very
through
hard
4 years.
through 4 years.
No playing, no
No
Facebook,
playing, no
computer
Facebook, no
at that time.
computer at that time.
So after
So
4
after 4 years,
reward
reward
came.
came.
I graduated
I graduated
top one in my
top
class
1 in my class
out of
out of
255
255
students.
students. It
It was
was
the
the
biggest
biggest
achievement
achievement
ever
ever
in my life
at that time.
After that,
After that, I was granted with the position in the university to become a lecturer.
Wow, you can
Wow,
fly.
you can fly?
Though I felt so happy,
I felt
but
so
I could see the
happy, but I could see the
more
happiness more
in my parents'
in my
eyes,
parents'
the people
eyes
who
and the
have
people
trusted
who
me
have trusted
rather
me
than for
rather
myself.
than for myself.
So,
So,
if you look around, you
if
see
you
a
look
lot of
around, you see a
successful
lot of
people in
successful
life.
people in your life.
My
My
success
success at that time
was nothing
was
compared
nothing
to
to
others.
compare to others.
But if I put into
But
my
put in my
position as
position,
somebody
somebody
from a poor
who come from
family,
a
from
poor
a
family, a remote area, struggling in
to
life,
survive at
to
the
survive in the
university,
university,
and achieving
achieving such
success
success
at
at the
the
beginning of the
life
life
is so
is so
extraordinary, so
extra, so
significant to me
significant to
at
me
that time.
at that time.
So my journey began
So my journey
here
began
at this
here in this
university
university in the past
19.5
19.5
years.
years.
I began
I began
working here in
in
2001 as a
2001
teacher,
as a
lecturer.
teacher,
The
lecturer.
first 5
The
years
first
for
five
me was
years for
amazing.
me was
I
amazing.
really
I
enjoyed
really
working.
enjoyed working.
And so here I am today, not to talk about what I have done,
about what I have
but it's
done,
more
but it's
about
more about
how many times I failed
in my life
and how much struggle
I had in the past.
But before,
But
I
before I
start
start
my
my story,
I would just show you a book.
I will
People
just
talk
show
a lot
you a
about
book. People
self-help
talk
books
about
so far.
self-help book a lot.
I brought a book today.
I read the book today,
And about 4 weeks
about
ago,
4 weeks
my
ago,
best
my
friend
best
gave me
friend
this book.
gave me this
The
book.
title is
The title is Your One
Sorry
Word.
to advertise.
Sorry for advertising.
Right here in the back
Right
of the
here
book,
at the back of the book,
the writer
the writer
said
says questions
and challenge
and
yourself.
challenges yourself
If you use
one single word
to describe
your whole life,
the meaning of
the
your
meaning
life,
of your life,
the target
the target of your life,
what would that
what
word
would
be?
that word be?
And he
And he
continues,
continues,
many
I'm sure many of
do
you
not have
here
the
we
answer
don't
yet.
have the answer yet.
Is it true?
Is it true?
Yes.
Yes.
But things have come.
But things have
when I read that question,
Whenever I read that
about 4
question
weeks
about
ago,
4 weeks ago,
2 minutes later,
2 minutes later, I felt
it
I
came
found
so easy.
it came so easy.
instantly.
It came so instantly.
And I started to
And I
prepare
started
for my
to prepare for my TED Talk today.
My whole
I
life
looked at
journey
my whole life journey for the 2
living
years of
on this
living
earth,
in the earth.
working as a teacher for
Working as a
nearly
teacher
20
for
years.
nearly
And I
20
started
years,
to look at
and I started to
everything
look
I have
at
gone through.
everything I have
And so
gone
that's
through.
what I'm going to share with you. I have my
I have
keyword
my
here, but I'm not
keyword
going to
here,
show
but
you
I'm
until the
going
end.
to show you
Keep that
until
as a
the end.
secret.
Keep that as
And
a
I
secret.
want you to walk through
I want
stories in my
walk through
life,
my story
and
in my life, and
hopefully you
hopefully
find out
you
why
find
I
out
came
why I
to
came
realize
to
the purpose
realize
of my
the
life.
purpose of my
I want to
life.
share with you.
I want to share with you.
So, story
So,
time, okay?
story time, okay?
I was born
I was
into a
born
family
into
of
a
6
family of
children.
6 children. five boys and one girl
in a very
in
remote
the
area
very remote
in Vietnam
area in
province.
Vietnam province.
In the
In the
1970s,
1970s,
life was
life
just
was
so
a
huge
huge
struggle
for many
and
people, and just raising up
six
six
children
children in a family was a huge struggle for my
Plus,
parents.
my
Plus,
father used
my
to work
father
for the
used
US
to work
Navy
for the
before
US Navy
1975.
before
And so life in
1975,
the
and so
70s
life in the
was a little
70s
bit
was a little bit
insecure
insecure at that time.
And
And
everybody in my village
everybody in my village at that time, people stopped going to school. All the kids just stay at home and have the family.
And so being
And
born into that
being born
family,
in that
the
family,
first thing I
the first
experienced
thing
was
I experienced,
actually
I have a
carefree
very
life.
carefree
So much
life,
fun
so much
as a
fun
child.
as a
In the
child
field with the
in the
buffalo,
fields
with
with the
friends.
buffalo and friends.
But it's also the first moment
But
in
also
my
the first
life I
moment
started
in
to
my life, I
experience
started to
the feeling
experience the feeling
shameful,
of shameful,
the feeling
the
of
feeling
being
of
discriminated
being discriminated because you were poor.
And
And
I started to
I started to
see
see
tears from my
tears
mom's
from my mom's eyes
every time
every
she
time
could experience
she
the feeling
could
of being
experience-
looked at, not for her, but
not
for the
for her,
children.
for the children.
And deep down, I
And
started
deep down, I started to
what it means
realize
to
what
try
it means
and
to
become
try
successful.
for the
Like that.
success in my
But
life.
my life at that time was so quiet until the age
Until the age
of 5.
of
Something terrible
five, something
happened to
terrible happened to
me. My
me.
parents sent me to
My
school.
parents sent me to school.
I had long days
I had long days
just playing with
just
my
playing
friends, and
with
I
my
enjoy
friends.
more
I
in the
enjoy
field
more
rather than in
in
the
the
school.
field rather than the school.
But I could not
But I
understand
couldn't understand
in the middle of
in
the
the
village
middle
there,
of
where
village
everybody
there when
cared
everybody
more about
cared
food
more
and
about
clothes.
food and clothes.
My
My
father
father,
was very committed
he very
to
committed
education.
to
And I
education.
cannot remember
And I
how many
cannot
times
remember how
he
many
asked
times he
everybody
asked
in the family
everybody
to
in the
sit down
family to
in the
sit down
evening with the
in
oil
the
lamp
evening
in
with the
the
oil lamp in the
in the 1970s,
in the
1980s.
1970s, in
And he kept
1980s.
reminding
He
us
kept reminding
about
us
what will happen
about what
if
will happen
we
if
decide to quit
we
school.
decide to quit
The
school.
first thing he would do
The first
is
thing he would do,
kick
he
everybody
kicked
out of the family.
everybody
If we ever
out
talk
of the
about
family
not
if
going
we
to school.
ever talk about not going to school.
So he was very
So
committed.
he was very
and it's
committed,
still a very
and
secret
it's still
to
a
me
secret
now
to me
where the
now.
idea came
Where
from.
the idea
Because
come from?
Everybody
is
else,
why
even
when
in my
everybody
family,
else,
going
even in my
against
family, go
education.
against education.
So
Being
in that situation
in that
and in that
situation
context,
and
I
that
learned the
context,
first lesson of
I
being
learned the first
grateful
lesson of being grateful
to having
having
such a
such
caring
a
and
caring
loving
and
mom
loving
and a
mom
committed
and a
father
very committed
in my life.
father in my life.
But then, I know
then,
that I could not escape from education. I prefer. Sometimes I feel jealous.
Sometimes I
with
feel
other kids
jealous with the
in
other
village
kids
because they have
in the
long days
village who
playing.
have long day to
I
play.
sacrifice half
I
of my day at
sacrifice half
school.
of my day at
Not
school.
enjoying,
Not
to be
enjoying,
honest.
to be
Sorry,
honest.
teachers.
Sorry, teachers.
And then I become a teacher.
And now
I teach
I'm a
children.
teacher.
Okay. But my life
My
went
life
on
went
to
on
secondary
in
school
secondary
and then high
school
school
and
very
high school.
quiet. The only
Very
thing I could
quiet.
do
The only
is
thing
to
I
stay
could do is
focused.
just stay
I was
focused.
very obedient at that
I very
time, just
obedient at
listening
that
to my
time.
parents
Listen
and
to
the
my
teachers all
parents
the
and the
time.
teacher all the
I
time.
tried to
I
study
tried
hard.
to study hard,
Strangely,
strongly.
the best score
The best
I
score
got
I
in
got
high
in high school
school
was
was 6.72.
6.72.
I could never be
I
a
could
good
never
student
be
in
a
high
good
school.
student in
Even
high
I know
school,
that I
even
have
though
tried.
I did try a
I
lot.
was so bad in high
It's
school.
so bad in high school.
But I did
But I
start to
did
feel
start
that I
to
enjoy
feel
more
I
school.
enjoy more school.
And
And
this is also the
this
stage.
is also the stage.
At school,
At
I started to
school,
experience
I started
what
to
people
experience
call
what
failure.
people call failure.
At the end of year 12,
At the
I took
end
the
of year
university
12, I took
entrance
the
exam.
university entrance
I
exams.
failed.
I failed
First year.
first year.
Interestingly, I didn't feel sad.
Interestingly, I didn't sad,
Not disappointed.
not
But
disappointed.
I begin to
But
see
I
in the
begin to
eyes
see
of
the eyes of
people who love
people who love me
and who want the
and
best
who
for
want
my
the
life.
best for my life.
The look of
Look
disappointment
of
and
disappointed
more expectation.
and more expectation from me.
So I
So,
felt sad for
I
2
feel
days,
set up 2 days,
packed my
packed
luggage,
my luggage,
going back to
going
Canton
back to Canton
City,
City,
spending 1 year,
spending 1
reviewing the
year,
lesson,
reviewing the
taking the
lessons,
exam again,
taking
the
the
second
exam
year,
again.
and luckily
In
I
the second
passed,
year, luckily
becoming
I
a
passed,
student
becoming a
at
student
university.
at a university.
But I hit the wall
But I
again.
hit the
Right
wall
on the first
again.
day, I
Right the
stepped
first
into the
day, I
university.
stepped to the university.
I was among
I was among
255 students
255
at
students
the
at the
university
university at that
not
time,
understanding
not
a
understand a
English.
word of English.
And so in the
And
first
so in
month
the
of the
first month
university,
at the
many
university,
times I
many
have
times
thought
I
about
have thought
quitting
of quitting
university,
university, going back
Life
home.
is easier as a
Life
farmer,
is easier as a
right?
farmer, right?
But then I felt so lucky
But I
at that
felt so
time to
happy
have
at
one
that
of
time
my
to have
teachers
one
at the
my
university.
teacher
He
at the
understood
university,
all
and
of
then
the
he
psychological
understood on the
process the students
psychological
He sat down
process.
patiently,
He sat down patiently,
explaining,
encouraging,
and supporting.
and supporting.
So we
So
overcame the
we
problem
overcame
thanks to
the
that
problem
teacher.
thanks to that
That's the
teacher.
second
That was the
person that I
second
felt
person
so grateful
I
to
felt so
in my
grateful
life.
in my life.
And
And
all I could do in
all
my
I
4
could
years
do in
was
my
to
4
stay
years is
focused.
just stay
I
focused.
never considered
I never
myself
considered myself to
an
be
intelligent
an
person,
intelligent person,
but I did work
but I
very
did
hard
work
through
very
4
hard
years.
through 4 years.
No playing, no
No
Facebook,
playing,
no
no
computer. At
Facebook,
that time, luckily.
no computer at that time.
So after 4 years,
after 4
rewards
years,
came.
reward came.
I graduated.
I graduated
Top one in my
top
class.
one in my class
Out of
out of
255 students.
255 students.
It was
It was
the biggest
the biggest
achievement
achievement ever in my life at that time.
After that, I was
After
granted
that,
with
I
the
was
position of the
granted with the
university
position
to
in
become
the
a lecturer.
university to become a
Wow,
lecturer.
you can fly.
Wow, you can fly.
Though I felt so
Though I
happy,
feel
but
so
I could see the
happy, I could see the
more
happiness more
in my parents'
in my
eyes,
parents'
the people
eyes
who
and
have
the
trusted
people
me,
who have trusted
rather than for
me
myself.
rather than for myself.
So if you look around, you see a
if
lot
you
of
look around,
successful
if you see
people
a
in
lot of
life.
people,
My success
my
at
successful
that
at that
time was nothing
time
compared to
was
all of them.
nothing compared to
But if I
them.
put into my
But
position
put in
as
my position,
from a poor
somebody from a
family,
poor
from a remote
family, a
area,
remote
struggling
area,
through
struggling
life to
through
survive at
life,
the university,
surviving in
achieving
university,
such success
achieving
at the
such
beginning in their
success
life
in the
is
beginning
so
of life
extraordinary,
was
so
so
significant to me
extra, so
at
significant
that
to
time.
me at that time.
So my journey began
So my
here
journey
at this
began here,
university in the
this
past
university, in the past
19.5 years.
19.5
I
years.
began working
I began
here in
working
2001
here
as a
in
teacher, as a lecturer.
2001
The
as a
first
teacher
5
lecturer.
years for
The
me
first
was
5 years
amazing.
for me was
I
amazing.
really enjoyed working.
I really enjoyed working.
And so here I am today, not to talk about what I have done, but it's more about how many times I have failed in my life
And how much struggle I had in the past.
But before
I
I
start
start
my story,
I would
I
just
just
show
want
you
you
a
a
book.
book.
People talk a
People
lot
talk a lot
about
about self-help book so much.
I brought a book
I brought the
today,
book today,
and
about
about 4
4
weeks
weeks
ago, my best
my
friend
best
gave me
friend
this
gave
book.
me this book.
The
The
title
title
Your
is
One
Your
Word.
One
Sorry
Word.
to advertise.
Sorry for advertising.
Right here
Right
in the
here
back of
in
the
the back
book,
of the book,
the
the
writer
writer
says,
says,
and
find
questions,
questions
and challenge
challenges yourself.
If
If
you
you
use
one single word
to
to
describe
describe
your
your
whole
whole
life,
life,
the
the
meaning
meaning
of
of
your
your
life,
life,
the target
the
of your
target
life,
of your life,
what
what
would
would that word be?
And he
And he
continues,
continues,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
many of
you
you
here
will
will
not
not
have
have
the
the
answer
answer yet.
yet. Is it true?
Is it true?
Yes.
Yeah.
But things have
But
come
things have come
when I read
when I
that
read that
question
question
about 4
about
weeks
4
ago.
weeks ago.
2 minutes later,
2 minutes later,
oh,
I found mine.
It came
It came so easily.
It came
It
so
came so
instantly.
instantly.
And I started
And
to
I started
prepare
to
for my
prepare
TED
for my
Talk
TED Talk
today,
today.
and I look at my whole
life journey for the 2 years of
on
living
this earth,
in this earth,
working as a teacher
for
nearly
nearly
20
20
years.
years.
And I started
And I started
to
to look at everything I have gone through.
And so that's what I'm
So
going
that was
to
going to
share with you.
share with you. I have my
keyword
keyword
but I'm not
here,
going
but
to
I'm
show you
gonna
until
not
the
to
end.
show you until the
Keep
end.
that as a secret.
Keep that as a secret.
And I want you to walk through stories in my life, and hopefully you find out why I came
to
to
realize
realize
the purpose
the
of my life.
purpose of my life.
I want to share with
I
you.
want to share with you.
So,
So,
story time.
time, okay?
I was born
I was
into
born
a
into a family of six children,
five
five
boys
boys and one girl,
in a
in
very
a very
remote
remote area
in Vĩnh
in Vĩnh Long
province.
province.
In the
In the
1970s,
1917,
life
life was a
so
huge struggle for many
And just
people, and
raising
just
up
raising up
six
six children
in the family
was a huge
for my
struggle
parents.
for my
Plus,
parents.
my
Plus,
father
my
used to
father
work
used to
for
work
the US
for the
Navy
US Navy
before
before 1972,
And so life
79
in the 70s was
was a little bit insecure at that time.
And
And
everybody in
everybody in my
my
village
village
at that time, people stopped going to school.
All of the kids
All
would
of the
just stay
kids
at
would
home
just
and
stay at
have
home
their
and have
fun.
their family.
And so, being born into
Being
that
born
family,
into that
the
family,
first thing I
the first thing I
experienced was
experienced
actually
I had a very carefree
life.
life,
So much fun,
so much fun
as a child,
as a child,
in the field,
in
with,
the
the
field with the
buffalo,
buffalo
with our
and
friends.
friends.
But it's also the
But
first
also the
moment
first
in my
moment
life
in
I
my
started
life
to
I started to
experience
experience
the feeling
the feeling
of
of
shameful,
shameful,
the
the
feeling of
feeling
being
of being
discriminated
discriminated
because you
because
are
you are
poor.
poor.
And
And
I started to
I started
see
to see
tears
tears
from my
from my
mom's
mom's eyes
every time
every time
she could
experience
the feeling of being
the
looked
feeling
at,
of being looked
not
down,
for her,
not for her, for the
children.
children.
And deep down,
And
I
deep
started
down,
to
I started
realize
to
what it
realize
means
what
to
it means to try
become successful.
to become successful
Right
in
now.
my life.
But my life
My
at that time
life
was so
at that time
quiet
was so
until
quiet
the age
until the age
of
of
five.
5.
Something terrible
Happened to me.
My parents
My
sent me to
parents
school.
sent me to school.
I had long days,
I had long days
just playing
just
with
playing
my friends, and
with
I
my
enjoy
friends.
more
I enjoy
in the
more
field
in the
rather than in
fields
the
rather than
school.
in the school.
But I could not
But I
understand
could not understand
in the middle
in
of
the
the
middle
village
of the
there,
village
where
there when
everybody
everybody cared more
food
about
and
food
clothes.
and clothes.
My
My
father
father
was very
was
committed
very committed
to
to
education.
education.
And I cannot
And I
remember
cannot remember how many times
he asked
everybody in the family to sit down
in the evening
in
with
the
the oil
evening with the
lamp
oil lamp in the middle
in the 1970s,
in the 1970 and 1980s.
And he kept
He
reminding
kept
us
reminding us
about what
will happen
if
if
we
we
decide
decide
to quit
to
school.
quit school.
The first thing
The first thing he would
is
do
to kick
is to
everybody
kick
out
everybody
of the
out of this
If we
family
ever thought about
if we ever
not
talk
going
about
to
not
school.
going to school.
So he was
So
very
he was
committed.
very
And
committed.
it's still
And
a
it's
very
still
secret
a
to me
secret
now
to me now
where the idea
when
came
the
from.
idea came from
When
in his
everybody
mind.
else, even
When
in my
everybody
family,
else,
going
even in my
against
family, go
education.
against to education.
So
So
being in that
being in that
situation
situation
and in that context,
and in that context,
I learned the
I
first
learned the
lesson
first lesson
being
of being grateful
to having
to having
such a
caring, a loving mom, and a very committed father in my life.
But then,
But then,
I know
I know that I
escape
could
from
not escape from education.
Sometimes I feel
Sometimes I feel
jealous
jealous with other kids
in my village because they have long days
because they have long days playing.
I sacrifice half of my day
half
at
of my
school,
day at school,
not enjoying,
not
to be
enjoying.
honest.
To be honest, sorry,
teachers.
teachers.
And then I become a teacher. Right?
Yeah, and now I become a teacher.
But my life
My
went
life
on
went
to
on
secondary
in secondary
school and then
school
high
and
school,
in high
very
school,
quiet.
very
The only
quiet. The only
do
thing I could
is
do
to stay
is to
focused.
stay focused.
I was very obedient.
I was very
at that
obedient at that
just
time.
listening
Just
my
listen to my
parents
parents and the
teachers
teacher all the time.
I tried to
I
study
tried to
hard.
study hard.
Strangely,
strongly.
The best
The
score
best
I
score
got in high
I
school
got in high school
was
was
6.72.
6.72.
I could never
I
be
could
a
never
good
be a
student in
good
high
student
school.
in high school.
Even I know
Even
that
I
I
know I
tried.
tried a lot.
I was so bad in
I
high
was so
school.
bad in high school.
But I did
But I did
start to feel
started
that I
feel
enjoy more
I
school.
enjoy more school.
And
And
this is
this
also the
is also the
stage.
stage.
At school,
At
I
school,
started to
I started to
experience
experience what people call
failure.
failure.
At the end of year 12,
At the end of year
I took
12,
the
I
university
took the
entrance
university
exam.
entrance exams.
I failed.
I failed
First year.
first year.
Interestingly, I didn't feel
I didn't
sad.
feel sad,
Not
not
disappointed.
disappointed,
But I
but
begin
I
to
began
see
to
in
see
the eyes
in
of
the eyes
people
of
who
people
love
who
me
love me
and who want
and
the
who
best
want the
for
best
my
for
life.
my life.
The look of
Look of
disappointment
disappointed
and more
and more
expectation
expectation
from me.
from me.
So
So
I felt sad
I
for
felt
2
sad
days,
for 2 days,
packed my
packed
luggage,
my luggage,
going back to
going back to
Kantar
Kantar
City,
City,
spending 1
spending
year
1 year
reviewing the
reviewing the
lesson,
lessons,
taking the exam
taking the
again
exam
the second
again
year,
in the second year, and luckily I passed,
becoming a student
become a
at
student
university.
at the university.
But I hit the wall
But I hit
again
the wall
right
again
right
the first day I stepped
into
into the university.
I was among
I was among
255
255
students
students in the university at that time,
not
and not understand any word of English.
And so, in
And
the
so,
first month
in the
of the
first month of the
university,
university,
many
many
times
times I have
thought
thought
quitting
for quitting university,
going back home. Life is easier
Life
as
is
a farmer.
easier as a farmer, right?
But then I felt so
But I
lucky
felt so
at that time
lucky
to
at that time
have
to
one
have
of
one
my teachers
admired
at the
teacher
university.
at the
He
university. He
understood all
understood
of the
on psychological
process
process of the students.
He sat down
He sat down
patiently,
patiently,
explaining,
encouraging,
and supporting. So we overcame
So we
the problem
overcame the
thanks to
problem
that
thanks
teacher.
to that teacher.
That's the
That
second
was a
person
second
that I felt
person
so
in my life
grateful
that I
to
felt so
in my life.
grateful.
And all I could do
All I
in
could
my
do
4
in my
years
4
was to
years
stay
is to stay
focused.
focused.
I never
I
considered
never
myself
considered myself to be
an
an
intelligent
intelligent person,
but I did
but
work
I did
very
work
hard
very
for
hard
4 years.
through 4 years.
No playing, no
Playing, no
computer
Facebook,
at
no
that time.
computer at that time.
So after 4 years,
After 4 years,
rewards came.
reward
I
came.
graduated,
I graduated
top one
in my class
out of
out of
255
255 students.
It
It was
the
the biggest achievement ever
in
in my life
at that time.
at that time.
After that,
After that, I was granted with the position in the university to become a lecturer. Wow, you can fly.
Though I felt so
I felt
happy,
so
but I could see the
but I could see the
happiness
happiness more
in my parents'
in my
eyes,
parents'
in the
eyes,
people
and the people who have trusted
rather
me
than for myself.
rather than for myself.
So, if you
So,
look around, you
if
see
you
a
look
lot of
around and you see a
successful
lot of
people
successful
in life.
people in life,
My
my
success
success at that
was nothing
time was
compared
nothing
to others.
to compare to others.
But if I put into my
But put in
position
my
as
position,
somebody
somebody
from a poor
from a
family,
poor
from a
family,
remote
area,
area,
struggling through life, to survive in the university,
and achieving
and
such
achieving such
success
success
at the
at the beginning of life
is so
was so extra, so
significant
significant to me
at that time.
at that time.
So my journey began
So my
here
journey
at
began
this
here in
university
this
in the
university
past
in the past
19.5
19.5 years.
I began
I
working
began
here in
working here
2001
in
as a
2001 as a teacher, a
The
lecturer.
first 5
The
years
first
for
5
me
years
was
for
amazing.
me was
I
amazing.
really
I
enjoyed
really
working.
enjoy working.
And